Hello and welcome to SoulSurvivor 01, our introduction. My name is MJ, I'll be your host throughout the SoulSurvivor series. Before we start, I just want to convey a big hello and welcome to all those listening from the team here at SoulSurvivor. This project has been a long time coming and we really are excited to finally get these presentations out to you. So thank you very much for tuning in and we hope you enjoy. This first presentation is a brief one and it's really intended to introduce ourselves and one of the really big concepts that we're going to be discussing throughout this series. Hopefully this context and background will assist those of you who haven't come across channel material before. Most importantly, however, you're going to be hearing a brief introduction from our VIP speakers who will be delivering this series to you. Who are SoulSurvivor? In brief, we are a group of light workers who have always been interested in personal spirituality in its many forms, exploring consciousness, and understanding our own individual and group purpose for coming into this world. We have made progress in uncovering answers to some of our own ever-expanding big questions, and we would like to do something to assist others in uncovering their own unique truths and paths. The team here have all had a great deal of experience with channeling and channel sources, and we're delighted to assist in bringing this experience to you. So what is channeling? Channeling is the natural communication and bridging of the physical dimensions with the metaphysical realms for which we all originate. As souls, we have each chosen to channel into these human bodies in the position of control, i.e. the driving seat, effectively, and learning from infancy how to direct and control these body vessels and how to physically manipulate and interact with the world around us. This two-way communication, this transmitting and receiving between the part of our soul that comes to Earth and the primary part of our soul that remains in the metaphysical realms, enables us as souls to learn, develop and experience our own unique worlds throughout our many lives. Building upon the circumstances and experiences gained, it also enables us to come into this world with purpose, with missions to achieve and circumstances to experience. Some humans go slightly further, however, and develop the ability to open up their minds and consciousness to receive additional sources of communication with the metaphysical. This process of tuning in and receiving these channels is what is referred to as channeling or mediumship, which presents itself in a variety of forms. Whilst the label mediumship often brings to mind communication with our souls and guidance, the term channeling has more recently brought a wider context to the mix and opportunity for communication with alternative sources of intelligent consciousness, including highly evolved souls, groups and entities. Beyond the associations attached to the labels, channeling and mediumship are otherwise the same ability. Throughout this series, we will be presenting to you channel messages from a small group of very high-level light beings who wish to provide insights into what is going on in our world behind the scenes and why. They wish to assist humans to awaken to their own consciousness and unveil the purpose they chose and the role they came here to play. Initially, they will be speaking to you as one group consciousness, and they've asked us to refer to them in these presentations as Eternal Light, or L, as I like to call them. Now, just before we hear the spoken introduction from Eternal Light and their hopes for these messages, I promise to read out a written message from them. Post-recording of this message by Eternal Light, SoulSurvivor team were discussing between ourselves how best to introduce the concept of channeling to those who haven't come across it before, and as a result we received the following response from Eternal Light. They begin by referring to themselves. We are highly evolved light sources who have come to watch over Earth and to assist individual souls when they ask us to. We are guardians who have viewed the evolution of mankind. We come now in this important time in your history to assist you in realizing that you all have an inner self you call a soul, and each soul on arriving on Earth is to experience living in a human body. Up until now, most people have been unaware of this, and more so that each individual is born with the gift of free will. For many, this will be the first time this has been said to them, for much of the human race has only known suppression from birth onward. This comes in countless ways, from family and schools where your creativity is suppressed in order that you take up the employment the state wishes you to do, for instance, to the worst of all, imprisonment of your human body by individuals who express their power over what you do and think totally. To get our messages out to you, We require a human being who has gained great spiritual knowledge and is willing to allow us to use their vocal cords in order that we can channel our message of hope, love and fulfillment to those of you who know inside that they are here on earth at this time of great change and who know they have a role to play in uplifting mankind. And now let's hear the introductory audio message from Eternal Light.
We are here now, united at this time in your world to communicate to you from the heavens where we reside and where we can see all that is happening. We come to you with many messages and with much hope for your planet. For although it is in great disarray, much is happening that is dismantling the old ways. So much news comes to you through the media, but it is a media that is contaminated, for it tells the stories that those who are at the head of the organisations wish you to hear. They do not tell you the other stories, the stories of hope, the stories that will carry on through centuries of storytelling, of those who have championed the lead towards bringing light on earth. This is the time where so much will change on your planet and so much good will happen. But at the same time, please do not be disillusioned, for much of the things that are happening in the world are the disintegration of the dark world, the dark people who control everything at very top levels and decide what you hear and what you see. Many of you have come to this earth waiting to get the clarification you require to proceed with your duties. You have decided when you came down that you were going to help change this world, to rid this world of the awful scourge of the dark cabal, who have operated for many centuries on your planet. They have controlled humanity. They have controlled wealth. They have controlled who will eat that day and who will not. For they have fine-tuned things as they wish it to be. Many of you have this feeling in your hearts and in your minds that you are here to do something. Not something on a way of collecting money for yourself and wealth for yourself, but in a very much broader scheme of things. You are looking to help the world, the planet that you live upon. And this time has never been so important as it is now. For much spiritual light is coming to your planet, and in your souls you will feel that your time has come where you can contribute to the good of the world and the good of humanity. Many of you in your hearts, in your souls, feel that strong energy of wanting to help others. And this has very much come to light as people have experienced the lockdown in your countries. You have experienced the need and the want to help those who are less fortunate than yourselves. This is the start, my dear ones, for you will go on now to help others throughout your life. The hope and the prayers are for that to continue for all. But there are many on this planet who are there just for their own enjoyment, for their own desires, and for them to consume at a fine rate all that they desire of this world. They are not interested in helping humanity. They have no wish to do good for others, but only for themselves. But the time is now coming where they are no longer having it all their own way. For people are suspect of what comes out of your televisions, the news that comes to you through your newspapers, through your websites. They know that it is very concocted, and one day they will concentrate on the war in Syria, and the next day it is as though it had never happened, for they are looking for the next disaster, the next bit of news that they can show you that everything is despairing. They work it so that people are full of fear. They tell you that if you don't obey and go back to your offices, that the world will crumble. They tell you if you don't fill up their trains and their tubes underground, that the world will collapse. But my dear ones, please be assured that is not the case. It just means that things are not going their way. They are losing control of humanity. And this is very disturbing to them, for they have for so long worked your minds. They have decided who will serve them. And it has all gone very much their way. But now the world is changing. Uprisings of people are occurring all over this planet. For people are saying no longer will we obey your corrupt societies that you create. They wish to be truly free, for that is their right. And that is the suppression that has occurred throughout this world. You are at Earth at the most exciting of times, for there will be real change in all of your lifetimes. For you are no longer their servants. You no longer believe all that they say. You understand that their motive is power and money and riches beyond all of your desires. But what they fail to understand is that that is not what humans want. They want love to surround this planet. They want the goodness of people to be shared, to take care of their neighbour, to take care of their friend. They do not want this emotion to surface on the planet. For if it does, it means that humans are no longer under the control of the big corporations that they man, of the banks that they man, of all the top money-earning things. But most of all, they fear that energy will be taken out of their hands, that you, the people, will decide where you get your energy from. You will make your own energy, for it is very much within the power of man to do that. But as you look through your history books, you will see that man has been suppressed. And for people who have been bold enough to create free energy, in many sad places they have been suppressed and they have been removed from their work. But I come to you, we come to you today to tell you that life is going to change for the better. Please do not be in despair when you hear of another war or another piece of brutality, from dark places throughout the world. For this is the intention of the media, to suppress you, to make you feel there is no hope, but to go on in the drudgery that you are doing so now in many cases. We will continue to channel through our source, through our vessel, and we will bring to you the glad tidings that Earth is about to come into its own, that the humanity and the people of this world are rising up, for they no longer want the wars that are forced on them. They are no longer willing to serve in the ranks for wars that are purely for money and greed and for control. This time has passed. Your history books are full of fake wars that have been started just to create wealth for those who supply the arms. We will finish now, but we wanted this introduction to let you know that we will be channeling through on a regular basis to let you know and to give you hope that the world will rise above this all.
There we are, folks. I hope you enjoyed this introduction. We aim to put out a message each Monday. If you'd like to connect with us on social media, then you can find the links on our website, www.soulsurvivornow.com. Thanks for listening.